Welcome to another episode of NBA 2K12 from Dallas Mavericks franchise. Today's video we're going up against the Chicago Bulls. Last episode we beat the Utah Jazz 45 points for Dirk Nowitzki, and the area I don't see happen in NHL now at the end of the era for Arizona Coyotes. Now we're headed to relocation to Utah, as the only team was the Utah Jazz and sports. In the Olympics in the year 2002 was Winter Olympics for Utah and the right side. In my last episode, as you can see, the Vince Carter are now healing for the Carter. As you can see, the Vince Carter is now healing up for his pain after his injury, lower back strain and back spasms, and is hurt due to the game against Memphis Grizzlies where the Carter was wide open. So let's check out the ABA ball right here. So as you can see, we're going up against Derrick Rose of the Chicago Bulls. It's gonna be a showdown, 95 versus 94. Before you're gonna start the game, I'm gonna start with the secondary Mavericks jersey. As you can see, it looks like Dallas Cowboys jersey. If this is the Bulls right here, you can switch it right side. So hope you enjoy this video, and if you like it, please subscribe. Now let's enjoy. Let's get started the game. And now let's head back in the video. I will turn off the commentary.
Hello and welcome. Great to have you along here for the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday night basketball. It'll be Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks facing off against Joakim Noah and the Chicago Bulls. And the tip-off is just around the corner. Let's get you out to the Madhouse on Madison. Here's Kevin Harlan in Chicago.
Hi again, everybody. Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr as we get set to bring you all the action. Earlier this season, it was Chicago coming away with the loss in this matchup against the Mavericks.
And overall, a very disappointing effort. They really didn't do anything well. They deserved their fate.
Yeah, it was far less than a masterpiece, that's for sure, Steve.
Here are the starters for Dallas, brought to you by State Farm. They've got Marion. Nowitzki is out there with Odom. Then it's Jason Kidd, and it's Carter in at the two-guard spot. And for Chicago, Carlos Boozer and Joakim Noah, they're inside. Rip Hamilton out there with Derrick Rose. And it's Butler in at the three spot. Now here's Noah. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him two chances at the free throw line here.
But it's amazing watching Noah's shot. It's so unorthodox the way he kind of spins it off the side of his hand. The ball almost has side spin on it. But it's effective. I mean, he's not a guy who you can just leave alone out there defensively. He can make a shot.
And the jam by Dirk Nowitzki.
You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him.
Kidd against Rose. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Rose has got his first 2 points of the night. Steve was talking about Noah's shot, and Clark, I know you've talked about it too. What did they call it? What did I hear him say? It was called the tornado?
Yeah, I'd like to call it a globe on its axis, the way it spins sideways. But you know what? It's unorthodox. It's not textbook.
It works,
but
right?
it is effective, and that's the bottom line. It's kind of like your golf swing. You're all over the place on the backswing and coming down, but at impact, Kevin, you're right where you need to be, and that's what makes the difference.
Right.
Where are you at impact?
You talking about my backswing or just anybody's backswing?
I was actually talking about yours.
High Priest, thank you. Thank you. A chance now to go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with Rick Carlisle.
He said obviously they'll be trying to emulate the success they had against the Bulls in the team's first meeting of the season. He liked the balance they had between their defense and offense in that game. They defended Derrick Rose and still had a lot of energy at the other end of the floor. He wants once again to establish and maintain that balance. Guys?
Thanks, Doris.
Well, the Bulls played lockdown defense last season under their coach, Tom Thibodeau, who has been a renowned defensive coach over the years. In fact, Chicago was #1 in the league in opponents' field goal percentage.
And Steve, that D you mentioned for the Bulls, a lot of that, I think, goes to Coach Tom Thibodeau, who Clark was a long-time assistant in the NBA.
Yeah, and that's why they brought him on board, I think, Kevin. I mean, he's a defensive guru and has been since he's been in the league, and I think the results speak for themselves.
Luol Deng is checked in for Butler.
You know, last year for Dirk might have been one of his best to date. I mean, I think it was even better than his MVP year. He was just superb. But a lot of that had to do with what he showed in the playoffs. I think he was at such a high level of performance during the playoffs.
And here is Odom, with Hamilton getting it to go from deep. Odom kicks to Nowitzki. Lets it go with the three. Gets it to go. Nowitzki's got 7. Well, back to Dirk, he was in consideration for another MVP, Steve, finishing right in back of Rose last year.
Well, he made a pretty good case for himself. Best field goal percentage of his career, and was a force for Dallas all season long. They had that incredible postseason run, and if it hadn't been for an injury at midseason, which cost him about 10 or 12 games, I believe, I think Dirk might have won it.
And here's Rose. What a tremendous game he played against Houston. He passes to Deng. Lets the three fly. And the Bulls, another three.
Looks like a three-point contest out there, guys.
Yeah, you would fit right in, partner. I mean, you hit one on us, we'll hit one on you. A terrific battle going on here.
It's tipped out of bounds. They'll keep possession. And we always talk about getting good looks. Here's who's doing the best of it in the NBA. Dirk Nowitzki, number 1. Second is Vince Carter.
Well, both of these guys, Kevin, have had 2 of the highest shooting percentages this season. And even if the fans haven't noticed it, the coaches and their opponents have noticed it, that's for sure.
Kurt Thomas, he's checked in for Chicago. Watson comes in for Derrick Rose. Dallas also making some changes. Jeremy Evans comes in for Lamar Odom. And it's Stevenson in for Vince Carter. Here's Deng, and he lays that one in. Deng's got his second basket of the night.
Well, the defense has to commit so much attention to him. He's just an important part of this offense.
You know, even though it's transition, he's got the green light to fire from there if he has a good look at it. Another Coach of the Year winner here, and Rick Carlisle, he took the award back in 2002 when he was with the Pistons. He's proved since then that he knows exactly what to do in leading the team no matter where he is.
Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Dirk Nowitzki. That's good from Boozer. Back, Clark, to what you were saying about Carlisle, he has shown flexibility in his style, too. You know, Steve, he's changed up a little bit from what he was earlier in his career.
Yeah, he's adapted to his talent base, basically. His Detroit teams were really defensive-minded, but he's been able to thrive playing a more up-tempo style in Dallas with the Mavs.
Now, here's Stevenson, covered by Hamilton. And yes, sir, that one drops.
That's 9 straight points coming off 3 three-pointers. The defense just getting shelled.
Steve, the threes are killing him. I think they've got to find a way to chase him off the three-point line.
Here is Watson. This game he had 10 points. Stolen by Stevenson.
Well, that was a serious heave there. You can't blame him too much for not being able to corral it in.
For the three. Gets it to go. Marion's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And if their last 5 makes, all have been from long range.
Yeah, and the defense has not done a good job of pressing. And denying. I mean, they're hanging back, playing on their heels. They're not being the aggressors here, and the offense is taking advantage of it.
And here's Kidd from the arc. Another 3 for Dallas.
Right out of the gate, just filling it up.
Both teams are, guys. I mean, points coming fast and furious.
Here is Watson. He's covered by Kidd. Haywood with the block. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Take a look at the Mavericks. Long way to go still in the season, but even so, they've got the top spot. And, of course, Portland right behind them.
I think for the Mavericks, they played terrific basketball this year. They haven't missed a beat after the success they had last season, so it's hard to find a team that matches up with them comfortably.
Well, you're right, Clark. I mean, they would probably have the upper hand against almost any team in this league. I mean, they're a very difficult matchup. They've got plenty of talent, and they're so well coached. And what I like is they play hard every single night.
And so, lots of scoring in that competitive first quarter. The Mavericks on top, up 1.
And I'm just so impressed with the long-range shooting. They have really lit it up from outside.
Yeah, the sharp shooting from deep, a big part of their lead, and they're playing with confidence and shooting it well.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Coming up this Friday, LeBron James and the Miami Heat take on Josh Smith and the Atlanta Hawks. The NBA season is in full swing. Don't miss it.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. Here's Kidd. He had 10 points in the win against Utah.
And once again, the Mavs were a terrific road team last year, winning 28 games and losing 13 away from Dallas.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So the Bulls 5 right now. It's Gibson and Noah at the 4 and the 5. Derrick Rose is out there with Kyle Korver. And it's Butler at the small forward. You know, Clark, you always don't think of them that way, but the Mavs have been great team on the road for quite some time.
You know, you do overlook that, Kevin, until you look at the numbers. I mean, I'm not sure why it is, but they consistently are at the top of the NBA in road wins year to year. Even closed out their first-round playoff win last year on the road. That's always impressive.
Gibson with the screen on Kidd. Taken away by Kidd.
And nice swipe there. You can see his eyes get wide open when he's...
That should be illegal, Kevin.
Aggressive transition game leads to the easy hoop.
Yeah. I love to see these guys just trampolining to the hoop.
Bulls trail by 7. Outside Rose. 18 feet away. Korver.
Yeah, they are just lighting him up from mid-range area.
You know, sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot. You know, Jason Kidd has always been such a dependable player in the postseason, and last year was no different. He got it done again.
And that's his first three-pointer, so maybe that one will get him started.
Mavericks leading by 4. He's covered by Rose. And there's Jason Kidd on the... Assist by Nowitzki. 6 points for Jason Kidd. Clark, you brought up Kidd. He had a much better time shooting the ball in the playoffs last year compared, Steve, to the regular season.
Well, and you have to love the fact that, you know, Kidd finally got his first ring after so many years in the NBA. I think everybody, other than the Miami Heat, of course, was pretty happy to see Kidd get that championship that he deserves.
Leans inside. Vince Carter the bucket on the assist by Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got 3 assists in the game. Now here's Rose, averaging 23 points per contest. Here's Korver for 3. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. That's tipped out of bounds, and they'll keep possession. Now that we have the chance to show you the teams in the top of the NBA in steals this year. The Mavericks number 1, the Bulls in second,
Well, they're defensive-minded teams. Both of these teams are. They really pride themselves on making their opponents uncomfortable. And they get up into them. And because they do, they're able to get deflections that lead to steal, and that leads to points for them.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Carlos Boozer's checked in for Gibson. And Richard Hamilton has subbed in for Kyle Korver. That's good. Now just a one-point Maverick lead. And here are the Mavericks now. They host the Clippers after this game. They'll start a 3-game homestand with that game. Carter with a 3. Good. Carter's got 10 points in the quarter.
Well, I like that he's come up with some big baskets for this team to help him out in getting this lead. You know, the Mavericks did a really good job against the East, and you have to be strong out of conference if you're going to grab the number 3 seed in the West.
And the defense didn't have position. They whistle a blocking foul, and he'll go to the line. You're right about the Mavs there, Clark. 22-8 against the East last year. Steve, some good numbers.
Man, a surprising note, they swept some of the bigger fish over in the Eastern Conference. 2 wins each versus Boston and Miami. Oddly enough, they struggled against Milwaukee, like playing down to your competition. Well, Chicago really established its home record last year at the United Center. In fact, they finished with the best record at home in the Eastern Conference. That was one of the big reasons why they were the #1 overall seed in the playoffs.
Carter against Hamilton. Takes it up. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. You mentioned the Bulls, Steve, tied the other #1 seed, the Spurs, for the best home record in the entire league. Boy, those were 2 great teams in the regular year, Clark.
They certainly were. 36 wins in 41 tries. Just what you'd expect from a team that was so dominant at home like the Bulls were.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Gibson comes in for Joakim Noah. And it's Watson in for Derrick Rose. Carter with the bucket.
Boy, this is scary. You get a score rolling like this, you're in some trouble.
Yeah, you can't leave a guy like that on an island. I mean, you got to bring some help.
The 3. That's good. Watson's got 5 points so far.
6 points in short order. 2 straight from deep. That's what can happen with the 3 ball.
Yep, they got it going. Nice, clean looks.
Got that bucket in no time at all. 19 points for Nowitzki. Bulls trail by 4. Watson up top. He's guarded by Stevenson. From deep. Watson's shot is off. They can trade 2 for 1 here.
Yeah, that's the right move. Get a good possession here, play defense, and get one more opportunity to score. Well, that's great. You take advantage of that turnover and convert at the other end.
Absolutely. I mean, points off turnovers this time generated off the steal.
.32 seconds left to play in the first half. Kick out to Hamilton. From past the arc, hits the bucket. Hamilton's got 15 points.
That's 4 of their last 5 coming from long range. This offense is cooking.
Yeah, it's rolling, really rolling. And defensively, they kept collapsing, Steve, and leaving them open. So now they're in trouble. They're in a real dilemma now. Hey, he could have read a book cover to cover with all the time he was given on that 3. My goodness, come on, play some D.
Could have read a book, could have played video game, could have mowed the lawn. I mean, come on, defense, play.
Here's Carter. Carter right side. What an amazing buzzer beater.
Boy, how about that? You want to talk about cool? How about cool, calm custody?
And I'll tell you what, a split second later, guys, and it's a totally different result here. What a shot.
And that does it for the first half of play. We'll see you in just a moment, live here from Chicago.
And we got a fun one going on in Chicago as HP presents our halftime report. The Mavericks off to a good start, and from outside, you couldn't shoot it much better than this. They are scorching hot from beyond the arc. It's been a dominating outing for Dirk Nowitzki through 2. How's that for a shooting percentage? 100. Yes, 100% from the court. Not too bad. And the Bulls going all out. Their bench has given them a huge lift offensively, coming up big. Richard Hamilton not having any problems out there. Seems like everything's falling for him. Not sure if he even knows how to miss. Checking out the point leaders from both teams in this game, you know they're going to bring it again in the second half. Now let's check out other NBA action as we go around the league. San Antonio with a loss to the Knicks out in New York. Hard game to watch as a fan. Tony Parker had the team high. And another game that wrapped up, it was the Raptors taking the win at Air Canada Center over the Thunder. That's their 4th win in their last 6 games, a nice little respectable streak for any team. And now here's what's going on in the rest of the association. The Clippers grabbed the win against the Hornets in New Orleans. They ended up just cruising to victory in that one. Their leading scorer was Chauncey Billups. That'll do it as the second half is about to start out to the United Center.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Here's Odom.
You know, guys, Dallas kind of gets slept on in terms of playoff action because they've been so disappointing in recent years, but they worked hard all season, and the hard work has its reward.
Great perspective. Here's who Rick Carlisle is starting the second half with. They got Jason Kidd, Odom out there with Marion. Then there's Nowitzki, and it's Carter in at the 2. Now Kidd. Nowitzki outside. From outside the arc. And they're pushing it up. Here's Noah. Flushes it down to finish the...
With the flourish, I mean, his finishing skills are unreal.
Yeah, you know it's going to happen when he's moving hard to the hoop like that.
Well, it's still fun to watch. Even if you know it's coming, you just can't wait to see it happen and unfold in front of you.
For the lead. Here's Marion. Right now averaging 11 points a game. Butler with the steal.
Boy, that's a hard pass to make. You got to lead your teammate.
Oh! Here's another look with the Sprite Slam Cam.
They're amped up now, Kevin. They're trailing for so long, they finally pulled ahead. You know, seeing the Bulls here, they were just absolutely terrific against the Western Conference last year, and I don't think that should be a surprise at all.
Mark, you mentioned the Bulls in the West. Steve, they were 23-7 against the conference. Very good numbers.
That was the best mark of any team in the East. 3 more wins than the Heat, who came in second with 20.
I'll tell you what, three-point shooting a huge factor for them offensively.
Yeah, defensively, you got to make an adjustment. I mean, you can't continue to collapse inside and give these guys quality looks.
Rose hits the bucket.
Another open look hits bottom from outside.
Yep, and that's 3 of their last 5 makes from beyond the arc.
You know, for so long, the best point guard talk had been between Paul, Nash, and Darren Williams. But Rose might have thrust himself in the front of the conversation last year.
And that kind of power move has become a trademark for him.
Mavericks trailed by 4. And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. They put up a nice win against Utah.
I thought their game plan offensively was terrific. They executed. Seemed like everything was going for them.
Yeah, and they ran a lot of good plays for a number of different players.
And the Bulls making a change here. Ben's checked in. Going back to Rose, Steve, he certainly made a strong case with his play.
He was phenomenal in terms of his point guard play, his evolution offensively. And the numbers don't tell the entire story for him. I mean, he's such a pure scorer, but gutsy as well, and a leader for his team, and modest and humble, and somebody whose teammates absolutely love. That's 12 straight points coming off three-pointers. I mean, somebody do something defensively.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, who's going to step up? They're rolling out there now, so you got to get in their chest, make them uncomfortable, and try to deny those looks.
Dang. Puts up a three. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. Here's Marion, and a great assist by Kidd as that one goes in. Kidd's got his 6th assist on the night.
After coming over from the Celtics, Tom Thibodeau has really brought his brand of defense over to the Bulls. I mean, you've seen it. Hard to argue with the results. He was just what the Bulls were looking for in the new head coach.
He has looked very comfortable from three-point land today.
Well, the bulk of his points, that's where they've come from.
Both these teams really fighting hard here. This is an impressive matchup.
Yeah, not much separation able to be created either way, and I really marvel at the effort being expended by both of these teams.
Rose dishes to Dang. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Dang's got 6 in the quarter. And you see the turnaround Clark that Thibodeau brought to Chicago. You know, Steve, you've been in the front office before hiring and firing coaches. You wonder why he wasn't hired sooner.
Well, I actually interviewed Tom Thibodeau in Phoenix, and maybe I should have hired him. He's a phenomenal coach, did a great job with Chicago, and I think that roster is perfectly suited for his style. Thibodeau, very defensive-minded, and he's got a lot of great defenders on that Chicago team.
The big dunk at the Steve, as we approach the 4th quarter, still anyone's ballgame.
Yeah, exactly right, Kevin. I mean, these teams just simply keep trading baskets, and as a result, trading the lead.
Yeah, neither side really able to create much of a cushion at all. So which team can make a little run here? We'll see.
Rose passes to Dell. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Dang's got 10 points here in the second half.
You know, he's having a special quarter. 100% field goal shooting. They need to continue to ride it and work to get him good shots.
Launches a three, and the Bulls another three.
And we have seen the intensity pick up big time here in the second half.
Well, you can feel the desire from both teams that they really want to win this one.
Out to Carter, and stolen by Hamilton.
So now that's twice we've seen the offense collapse. That's back-to-back. Because of turnover.
Yeah, and that's going to be a problem because now all of a sudden you start turning the ball over, you lose all offensive rhythm and flow.
Outside Carter, and that one's good. Carter's got 29 in the game.
You know, guys, he's always looking for that open three. I mean, that's his strength, and sometimes the best time to get the three is in transition.
Here is Rose. He has 5. Kidd is tagged with the reach. That's his first foul. 15 seconds left to play here in the 3rd. Taken away by Kidd.
They have been so disruptive defensively. A lot of team speed out there. Boy, these teams really battling it out. This is a great game.
A bag full of lead changes. This has been fun to watch.
Here's Butler, and he brings it.
That's got to feel good. Ending the quarter. On a positive note.
Yeah, you would know that feeling well, my friend, wouldn't you?
And as we finish the 3rd quarter, it's still close. Both teams trading baskets. Look at Vince Carter in this game. I mean, he's been everywhere.
All game long, he's been dialed in from deep, hitting 3 after 3.
And his sharpshooting display should open up the floor in the fourth quarter, as they'll have to try to clamp down on him from outside, and that could open up other lanes.
From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment.
The NBA season continues to take shape. Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic take on Steve Nash and the Phoenix Suns this Friday, 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 Pacific.
So as we get rolling here in the fourth, let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for the Sprite Spark Report. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. It's the Mavericks with the spark of the game with that big push we saw. In that last quarter, things started falling their way, and they clearly have momentum on their side as we head down the stretch in this one. We'll see if they can maintain that same kind of intensity they just showed us in the third period, guys.
Great stuff as always, Doris. Thank you. Clark, that was the game's critical point.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I really think it was. I mean, it really tipped things in their favor. No doubt about it.
And that's going to happen to you when you keep piling up those points and you get on a run like that.
We've got Carlos Boozer, Bonnie Brewer out there with Watson. Then there's Kyle Korver, and it's Butler in at the power forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
What a game. This is really fun to watch.
And when games are tight like this, I mean, success or failure can really turn on small details and 1 or 2 plays.
And Boozer backs in. Shot clock at 6. He feeds it to Watson. Jacks up a 3. And the Bulls another 3.
You look at how they've been scoring the basketball, and it's really fun to watch them because all the baskets are coming off assists.
Well, keep that in mind. I mean, they're a much more efficient team when they make that extra pass. When they get in trouble, it's when they're taking quick shots.
Nowitzki for 3. Another 3 for Dallas.
All of those three-pointers coming off his fingers have been right on the money.
Here's Brewer. Takes it up. A rebound by Carter.
And they forced the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
Another 3 for Dallas.
Tell you what, they just cannot miss out there.
And the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they've been powerless to slow them down. No effect at all.
Chicago calls timeout.
You know, looking at Vince Carter in his prime, I thought he was one of the greatest scorers and dunkers in the league. Maybe top 5 in both categories, but now at 34 years old, he's grounded a bit.
So for the Bulls, Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Boozer. Hamilton comes in for Ronnie Brewer. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for C.J. Watson. Dallas also making some changes. Lamar Odom is checked in for Hayward. Marion comes in for Peja Stojakovic. Jason Kidd is subbed in for Deshaun Stevenson. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Tom Thibodeau had some words for his team in that last huddle. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said, they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
I'm talking about Vince Carter, not one to ever make excuses, but you heard through the grapevine, Steve, that his knees are starting to be a problem for him.
Well, Clark mentioned his age. I mean, that's just the reality of playing in this league, particularly somebody like Vince Carter, who's a high flyer. Think about all that impact on his joints and his knees and his ankles. It takes its toll. I mean, you know, his days as a superstar are behind him, but Carter still with the ability to be an effective player out there.
Here's Rose. And he drops it in following the offensive rebound. Now it's just a 3-point Maverick lead.
What a beautiful pass. And then the catch and finish all in one motion, stupendous.
An alley-oop like that, Clark, is just so rare. You just got to take a second and enjoy it.
And guys, you have to admire. Hire someone with the confidence to even attempt to pass.
Carter with it. Back to Kidd. Beyond the arc. Another three for Dallas.
And I think defensively you've got to commit a second defender because he's just destroying you right now.
Yeah, one-on-one, he's been a handful.
Post shot. Shoots from the right block. Again, Chicago.
Both of these teams have really stepped it up offensively.
You know what, Chief? They haven't missed a chance, and I think both teams really know what's at stake on every possession here.
Finger roll. That's pure style, guys. I like that.
Chicago calls timeout. Coming into this having notched the win against the Rockets in their last game.
They really cashed in on all the fouls. It was a very physical game. They used it to their advantage.
Steve, I like the fact they didn't know how to mix things up a little bit, did they? I mean, they certainly kept the refs occupied and busy.
Carlos Boozer's checked in for the Bulls. Here's Rose. Releases. Another one falls for Chicago.
We've seen some great shooting from him today. They've got to lean on him a little bit more.
And Nowitzki backs in. A fader. And it's Dallas with another.
Just putting on an absolute show right now.
Steve, they better come up with a way to stop him. In fact,
from deep, Rose. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
Both teams showing a lot of hustle.
Steve, especially since halftime, I mean, they're flying around out there, giving up a lot of energy and putting together a pretty good show. Clearly, a defensive breakdown there, guys. They didn't play him close enough on the inbound and then gave up the triple.
He's picked up by Kidd. And again, it's Rose with a three. Rose is up for 10 points in just this quarter.
This team really needs this kind of effort, and he is bringing it forward. He's converted time and time again in this quarter.
And he responds with his own three-pointer.
Yeah, he came right back with his three, and we're seeing a bit of gamesmanship right here, Steve. He's just so quick. Here's a guy you want on your side with the game on the line.
It's leading by three. Nowitzki with three. Another three for Dallas.
You know, the defense in transition typically is trained to protect the rim and the paint first, and those are the types of open looks you can get from beyond the arc under those circumstances.
And here's Rose. Outside Boozer. Pushes up. And now they trail by just four.
That's exactly what they had in mind on that possession.
Carter against Henderson. Poke loose. Out of bounds. And they retain possession.
Boy, how about the touch on that pass? Lobbed it up there nice and soft. Feather.
Yeah, looked like it. Made Steve for a pretty easy catch.
Well, the pass may have been soft, but the dunk was anything but.
Rose hits the top.
In a humongous fourth quarter, especially from long range. He's in his group.
Still within reach.
Yeah, but their offense needs to be just about perfect from here out. That's it to go.
Taking 1 point ahead with lead.
What a huge shot there.
How about what he can do? He needs to go with that one. What an offensive force he can be.
And ball here to the Bulls inside to talk it over. They're trailing by 4. 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
The idea here, guys, I get the quick score and then
They can actually turn to a quick score before that.
They've been doing a great job of showing the ball.
It was display of team play.
Steve, I know you love a great team.
Yeah, so much fun to watch when the ball is moving and there's kind of rhythm to the game. After the ball moves, it's all about penalty flag. He got fouled. Don't want to hit foul shots like that.
Yeah, you much rather have somebody else hit you than this guy. He's making that free throw. Big free throws. Now they need three to stay alive.
Chance to tie it up.
A three would make it happen.
Kid takes it to Here's Boozer. And the potential foul is got the
Potential foul.
Clark, it was anybody's game right to the very end.
Yeah, well, the outcome, maybe not so much hard.
Well, that'll do. For George Steve Peter and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. See you next time. And as we leave, we give you our short player of the game, Vince Carter.
Another close game in Chicago. That was a tough. That was the top. This time was the 2 points. Now let's check out for the schedule on December 8th. Since Knicks beat the Spurs as Carmelo Anthony, Stoudemire, and Davis is 33, 26, and 20, and Ginobili Parker tying with 23 points. Number 2, Thunder lose to the Raptors in 3 as Jonas Valanciunas scores 27, and KD almost scores that double-double, 42 and 8 rebounds. Pistons Bucks won the game, 30 points for Brandon Jennings, Steven Jackson 24 points, and Stocky scores 24, and for some reason near triple-double, Tayshaun Prince scores 20 points, 8 rebounds and assists. Kings and the T-Wolves, Kevin Love scores double-double, but Randolph and Beasley are 20, and Cousins, Hickson, Thomas are 14 points tied. Next up, Clippers and the Hornets. Jack only has scores 16 and came in near double-double with 12 and 8. Chauncey Billups scores 28 points. Warriors and the Suns. Brooks scores 23 and Grant Hill scores double-double, 21 points and 11 boards. And David Lee's also double-double, 12 points and 10 assists. Monte Ellis scores 22. Next up is the Jazz and Magic. Paul Millsap scores 35. Jefferson scores the double-double, 22 points and 10 rebounds. Devin Harris scores 15, and Dwight Howard is nearing that double-double, 28 points and 9 rebounds. Wizards and the Hawks. Hawks scores 29 points for John Johnson and Smith 20. John Wall scores 21, and JaVale McGee scores 13. Nuggets lose to the Nets. Brook Lopez scores 37. Darren Williams scores 27. Danilo Gallinari scores 25, and J.R. Smith scores double-double, 17 and 12. And the Mavericks Bulls, look at that. Geez, since what happened? Derrick Rose scores double-double, 21 points and 17 assists. Richard Hamilton scores 22, and Luol Deng, Jimmy Butler tying with 20 and 20. They're seeing each other. Dirk and Carter are 47-44 combined with 91 points. And how about the other D-League games? Right there, we got Ohio beat Canton, Skyforce beat Toros, and Bayhawks defeat Defenders. We got 2 D-League games together. We got Ohio Vipers, Wizards, Stampede, and 2 NBA games with the TNT, Celtics, Blazers, and Lakers Heat. For the first game, Celtics and Blazers time to score an advanced road game, and the Celtics win by 14. Brandon Roy scores a near double-double with 26 and 9 rebounds. Ray Alden scores a double-double, 12 points and 11 rebounds. For the Celtics, Kevin Garnett scores 26. That was a great game. And then they have the Lakers and the Heat. Heat win by 19, I believe. Yeah, 19. Dwayne Wade scores 41, and LeBron nearing double-double. 19 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Triple-double actually, and Kobe Bryant scores 25. How is the Lakers are surging? Let's see in the other games for D-League and see what happens there. And finally, the Wizards finally lost to the Stampede, and the Dakota Wizards finally gets the first loss of the season, and Canton beats Ohio beats Vipers. So check out when you see the standings from Wizards. Now finally got the first loss of the year. And still standings in the West, Jam and Stampede are the top 2 in the spots. Let's see if Terry is still injured right there. As you can see, Chris Paul still not healed as the injury due to the broken hand is out for day to day. And then Randy Floyd, his dislocated finger still day to day was hurt. And Jason Terry still not healing as the back spams, will be hurt for 1 or 2 weeks. And then Delonte West is still not healing yet. And I believe will be resumed until Christmas. In this game, there's no Chris Paul as the 11-8 Clippers. Who did the Clippers in the losing streak? No. And who did the Clippers are in the losing streak? No. And the Lakers are the surgeons. So the LA Lakers are the surging, who did losing in by 1 point in a close game. Look at this cheese. Let's check out the Lakers are the cheesing. So the Mavericks and the Spurs, Blazers are the top 3. Grizzlies are the 4. Rockets are the 5. Nuggets are the 6. Clippers 7 and Thunder 8. Warriors 9, Suns 10. Wow, that was BS. Lakers are 11. That was a surging. How about the East? Heat still the number 1, 50 and 2. Magic and Pistons, Bulls are the top 3 in the 4. Knicks in the 5. Nets in the 6. Raptors in the 7. And Hawks in the 8. And Celtics still in the 10 seed right there in the standings. So check out the schedule on December 9. We got a matchup between the Kobe Bryant and the Lakers take on the Bobcats, Nuggets, Sixers, Wizards, Bulls, Clippers, Mavs, Nets, Grizzlies, Kings, Thunder, Celtics, Jazz, Heat, Hawks, Knicks, Cavaliers, Rockets, Spurs, Timberwolves, Pistons, and Magic Suns. They 12 NBA games together. We got 3, 6, 9, and 12. So yeah, 12 NBA games, and they have 2 ESPN doubleheader right there as the first game. Griffin and the LA Clippers take on, I believe, Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks. In the second game, we got Dwight Howard and the Magic take on Steve Nash and the Phoenix Suns. There's no Dallas Mavericks was in ESPN because it took in BC for the Mavericks as they check out this list of the schedule. We see right November 2, Heat, Knicks, Lakers, Warriors, right the CS. You can see November. They only have Mavericks playing on national TV, but actually there's no games for the Mavericks as now we're back up. So we're going up against the Clippers with Ray Griffin as Chris Paul still not playing as the dislocated broken hand. You see the power rankings right there. We're see the All-Star board. All-Star vote as the Suns are 1 million for voted. Look at that, 1 million vote for Dirk Nowitzki to the viewers. Let's see, check the power rankings. I won the Mavericks then in the number 1 spot. Didn't get the first place since they lose to the Pistons. And now we're up against Great Griffin and the Clippers. Time to save the game. And then time to leave the game here. And that's it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. As do you know now, the NBA playoffs are begins here earlier. The Cavaliers beat the Magic, and then Timberwolves beat the Suns, Knicks beat the Sixers, and the Nuggets beat the Lakers. Are all 4 home teams won the first game. As the NBA playoffs tomorrow, game 2, game 1, day 2, as the Clippers Mavericks will be the same day. Will be game 1 tomorrow night. So this is Andre Kenshin. Don't forget tomorrow watching NBA playoffs together. Heat, Celtics, Clippers, Mavericks, Pacers, Bucks, and Pelicans, Thunder. Sign up for now and peace out. Bye. And time to say good night, everyone.